Hello, it's Lightning McQueen. I don't know why I just did that. So today, we're just gonna do something a little bit different because I don't know if you noticed, but I don't really do backgrounds because I don't like sketching backgrounds, but I do love painting them. So today, we're doing something different by painting them, and I'm getting out of my comfort zone because I really wanted to paint this thumbnail that I thought of, like, in the middle of the night. It's always the middle of the night, isn't it? Like, where you think of a idea that you love, which is basically an eye, kind of like if the eye was where the moon is, and, you know, the veins and everything. Like, the eye is kind of like the moon, and it's looking down at this person in a forest, and like it's long and everything. You'll see. I don't really know how to explain it, but it looks cool when it comes into action. It might not be your thing, but in my opinion, it looks cool. Some people don't like creepy stuff. It gives me Magnus Archives vibes. And I will not discuss Magnus Archives because it's depressing. And if you're thinking about watching it, don't. It's not a happy ending. I mean, to be honest, it's a happier ending than I expected, but it's still not a happy ending. Like, at all. So just don't. Don't do that to yourself, man. Just don't do that to yourself. Is it an amazing story? Oh yeah, it's definitely an amazing story. But it's not worth all the heartbreak and anxious. Listen, I was on the floor. I felt like I was actually about to die. My throat was closing and everything, and I was having a mental breakdown because I was stressful to stay in. They will get you attached to the characters and then one by one destroy them. So just don't do it. Just don't. I know you're tempted to because it's amazing, but just don't do it. Okay, I regret it so much. It's such a good show, but just don't. I swear to God, it's not worth it. So, let's get back to the painting. This is what we're talking about. I can't believe this is how the painting initially looked. Because, like, look at that blob at the beginning, and now it's starting to come together. Also, sorry about the glare that you see, because, like, acrylic has a glare. And I couldn't get it into the right place where it didn't have a glare. But when I finally did get to the right place that had a glare, it kind of just had a glare again because the sun got brighter or something. I forgot what happened, but yeah, so this whole entire time there's a bit of a glare because acrylics have a glare. I'm gonna take a little bit of footage tomorrow, and maybe I'm gonna try to show at the end without that much glare. It's gonna have a bit of shadow, but it is not gonna have as much glare. I'm gonna try to do that, and if it's not at the end of the video, then that means I waited too long to edit it, and I don't have time to edit it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now we're adding the trees. I really liked how the trees were looking, but then it just, on camera, it just looks like a big black blob, and it kind of looked like a big black blob at the end with highlights, but in real life, oh my god, I'm so proud of this piece. It was so much fun to do. If you could see it, if you could see how it really looks like in real life without the whole camera glare and how my camera kind of sucks so you don't see all the details, you just see a big black blob. There's just, I love it. I love the forest and everything. It looks so cool. And the moon you see right there, yeah, it's actually gonna turn into an eye. Booyah, I don't know what. I'm so excited about this piece. I love it. I love this piece so much, but sometimes I just don't want to look at it because it reminds me of Magnus Archives. I'm not gonna discuss Magnus Archives. Stressful. I'm trying to not think about it. Like, literally, I stop myself and say, stop thinking about it, verbally, out loud, so I can stop thinking about it. So, stop thinking about it. Okay, now I'm not going to think about it. Now, trees, yes. So, I used a blue-ish purple. Like, I know you can't really tell on camera. It looks kind of blue on camera, but it's a little bit more purple on camera, the blue of the background. I added a little bit of red into the blue. So it's not completely blue, and it's more purple around where the eye is. And then I mixed purpley, pinky purple, like purple thing for the highlights, like where it would, the branches would like touch the moon, would touch the branches. I'm incohesive right now. Sorry. Where the moon would touch the branches, there's like highlight of like purpley stuff. And I add more depth and more lightness into the trees. Like when it's like close up, I feel like the camera would be able to see a little bit more detail. So I added the closest tree to the camera, a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter. Like as dark as the darkest of the sky, sort of lighter, but enough so you can differentiate that tree from the rest of the black blob that you see on camera. It's not black blob in real life, I swear. I love it how it looks in real life. On camera, I still love how it looks, but just not as much because of all the detail. A painting is just never the same unless you actually have it with you. I love it. Okay, so now we're adding the highlights, of course, like we were adding, but I wanted to add it on this, like, what is it called again? Pine tree. It's called the pine tree, right? Fun fact, I'm allergic to pine trees. Because one time we went on a road trip, and this is the only time I've ever seen real pine trees, like touch them, I mean. And we went on a road trip when I was like 8, and I touched a pine tree, and I was so allergic to it. So yeah, I'm allergic to pine trees. Are you allergic to pine trees? And how did you figure out you were allergic to pine trees? Because that's how I figured out. And then we had to go home because I couldn't breathe. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, actually, that was a fun road trip, but that part was not fun. So that's what I'm doing here, but then I figured out I don't want the front thing to be a pine tree here. I want the second front thing to be a pine tree. So then I added a tree over that one, like just a regular old oak tree or whatever. I don't know names of trees, so if you do and you're a nerd right now, whatever, suck it up. But this pine tree is going to be covered up, but not completely covered up later. And I just keep darkening it, and then I'm like, oh, but I still want it to be a little bit light, even though it's going to be the second point. I just want you to tell it's a pine tree. I mean, I guess you can tell it's a pine tree. Can you tell it's a pine tree? I think you can tell it's a pine tree. So, yeah, that's what you're seeing. Pretty much the finished product and the eye and everything. I just completely forgot to talk about the eye for some reason. I'm such an idiot. So, yeah, the veiny things, and I added a little bit of yellow in the eye. It's not completely white unless it's the center. The center of the eye, little highlight in the eye, is pure white, but everything else is yellow. And then I added a little bit like of a purple shadowing to mix with everything else, and yellow because like I wanted to give an intense vibe, and I feel like I did succeed at that. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this end product because I love it, and I love the creepiness and everything with the guy and the moonlight shining on him. But yeah, if you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you think of the piece and road trips and allergic reactions and pine trees, or, you know, just how you like the painting and if you like creepiness or not. But that's it. Kudos, my noodles, and don't forget to draw a poodle.